What's up, guys? Brooke Kromer from Athletes and Artists. Welcome to Huddle Up at Home, episode 2. I am joined by my favorite coach, my dad, Aaron Kromer, on his birthday. We had to change locations of the studio this week. We are now in Inlet Beach, Florida at our beach house, enjoying some sun, also working hard on football, preparing for this 2020 season. So, Dad, can you just explain to us how you're going through coaching these players, staying connected with your team, and also preparing well for the 2020 season?
Yeah, we're lucky at the Rams. We have a great IT department that was able to set us up anywhere in the country we wanted to be or was best for us to stay safe from coronavirus, and still be able to get a hold of our guys and meet with our guys. So what we've done is set up an office here at in Florida on the beach, and so I look here with my Exos machine, I video it to my screen, and we have Zoom meetings, and it allows us to all feel like we're just right in that meeting room. It can't be a better situation. We all feel like we're in there. I can see everybody's face. Everybody can see each other on the screen in the Zoom meeting, and it's worked out really well. We're able to meet right here, sitting in my house, looking at the beach. I have all the video that is back at the office through Thundercloud and Exos Thundercloud, and I can play it here with my remote just like I'm sitting in my meeting room with the guys. We set up Zoom on this computer, and I project the video onto that screen, and it copies it into Zoom, and we're coaching up our players right there, just running it back and forth, and like I said, I can see everybody's face on this screen, projecting it, and so we're sitting in a meeting. It's like I'm looking at them, they're looking at me, and like we're all in one room even though we're separate. So it's worked out perfectly so far, and we got 1 week in, and it's been great. So guys feel like they're getting something done. We're learning football and correcting some things from last year and getting better at some things, and I'm getting to be a better coach.
So do you feel like we're going to be ready for this season, even though you've been separated from the team and your players? You feel like we'll be able to play together as a team and be prepared whenever the season begins? Yeah,
normally April 15th is when the players come back, and they get back in the office, and they're lifting weights and they're working out, and we have short meetings with them, and we can't go out to practice yet at that point. So we're still another 15 days away till May 15th till we actually would have went outside, done OTA, off-season training practices. So I think that we're getting just as much done with these videos and these Zoom meetings that we would have, and we are doing a good job. I think in times of adversity, guys really step up to try to do more for each other, and they become closer because it's not the normal routine. So it might even be better than it ever was because of this adversity we're going through. Will we practice before the season? I don't know that, and I don't think anybody knows as far as before training camp and before the August season. I think this off season, obviously there's a good chance we're not going to practice. But the NFL's experienced this recently in 2011 with the lockout. Obviously it's a way different situation, but it was the same situation as far as not practicing. And we were able to go into training camp with a little bit different idea of how we're going to start and get the offense installed and work through. But I think with the veteran team that we have, I think it'll be an advantage to us.
And to what extent do you feel like you can still teach these players as much as you would be able to in person on Zoom?
Well, just running through these videos is what we would do at a natural meeting, and so it's all the techniques that are involved in the plays that we're running, and we're showing them those techniques, and they're making notes and mental notes, and obviously what Coach McVay has done a good job of. He's copying a lot of these. He's making copies of these videos that we're teaching these guys, and so they'll be able to rerun those and rewatch those on their own prior to training camp.
So what challenges do you see coming out of this, bringing in the new guys that we just drafted, anybody that we pick up, building that brotherhood and that camaraderie before the season starts? Can you do that over Zoom?
Well, it's always tough to bring the young guys in and have them join, and there's so much to learn, whether it's technique or how to verbalize the things that we're talking about and actually how to understand what we're saying. So they're going to join the Zoom meetings on May 11th. That's when the league allows them to do it, and we'll get them caught up with extra meetings on on the side that I call the varsity. The older guys aren't involved in, and that'll get them caught up terminology-wise in what to see. But it's always once you get to the field, can they take those techniques? Can they take those rules to the field, see it differently, and put themselves in those situations to have that success? So it will be a challenge for them, but I think if they put their mind to it and they really decide that that's what they want to do, which most of them do, that it'll be a smooth transition once training camp comes. And our guys are so great. We have young guys, first-year players, second-year players, just completed their first or second year, and they help. Our entire offensive line is willing to help each other to make the whole unit better.
What do you feel like is most important for these players right now, training on their own and preparing for this season?
Well, the one thing that the NFL has allowed is they've allowed, if someone doesn't have a gym that they can go to, and still social distance, that we're allowed to spend $1,500 or send them $1,500 worth of weights or equipment that they could use to help keep themselves in shape. So, honestly, most of these guys have something in their gym, in their garage, or they have a somewhere that they can go individually and not have anyone else around to train. But then there's others that are maybe in a remote situation where they need these extra weights, and so they're actually adding a kind of a virtual training program online that they can go to, our strength coaches, and get a workout every day that can be most advantageous to them specifically. That's the key to the NFL, different from college. Is in college, it's like every position. If you play offensive line, you do this workout. If you do this, you do this workout. And in the NFL, it's more for you individually. If you need more explosiveness, you're plenty strong enough, but you need to be able to get yourself to come out of your stance harder, then they'll work on those type exercises with you, when someone else might be really quick at getting off the line, but they're not strong enough to hold up if someone's pushing them, they'll do a separate workout for them. So it's always tailored to the individual, and this is even more so because they'll be doing it just like this online, almost FaceTiming to get this done, or Zoom meetings the same way to get their workouts done. So I feel like every player is going to be ready. And they just have to make that choice to do it. And the way I'm talking to them all, they're chomping at the bit at the end of our meetings to go work out. You can see it as you're watching them in the meetings. You can see them starting to move around a little bit, like, oh, we must be working out right after this meeting. And then I asked them, and they said, yeah, absolutely. They're getting their mind into going to work out.
And the rehab process for the guys that are going through that during this off season and these tough times, are they getting the attention they need to be prepared when it comes time?
Yeah, fortunately or unfortunately, I'm not sure which, we had a lot of linemen hurt last year. So most of the starters are in the building one at a time in the actual Rams facility, working out with our people at our facility, like I said, one at a time, because they need the distancing, because they have to rehab. So one, they're rehabbing, and then two, they have to lift weights and do their training around that rehab in the building to be able to make sure that they're not hurting it while they're working out. So it's fortunate that they get somewhere good to go and they're working with our people firsthand. It's unfortunate that they get injured.
With all of these uncertainties and going into the season, we don't even know when we'll start. We don't know what we'll look like. What are your expectations going into the season?
Well, I know us as a team, as an offensive line, the guys I've worked with closely on these Zoom calls, that we're just looking forward to, at any point, if we can go and play football, go into training camp, get ready for the season, and then go into the season, we're going to be excited. Whether it's 10 games, 6 games, 16 games, a shortened playoff, whatever it is, we'll just be excited that we get to go out and play football.
It'll be a good one. We're all excited for the season. Stay tuned for episode 3 next week. Looking forward to it. Thanks for joining me in our beautiful beach house in Florida. This is our new studio, guys. Making it work.